When a woman shares this, it means you're special to her. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and fleeting connections, there exists a deeper truth. When a woman truly values someone, her actions speak louder than words. She does not invest her time, energy, or emotions carelessly. Every gesture, every silence, and every shared moment carries meaning. But how do you recognize when you hold a special place in her life? What are the signs that reveal her trust, respect, and care? Stay with me until the end as we uncover the unspoken language of a woman's heart, one that only those who truly matter will ever witness. Trust is one of the most fragile yet powerful aspects of human relationships. It is not something that can be demanded, assumed, or given without reason. A woman who understands her worth does not offer trust carelessly. She knows that trust is a privilege, not an entitlement, and only those who prove themselves worthy will earn a place in her heart. When she meets someone new, she does not immediately open up her emotions, thoughts, or vulnerabilities. Instead, she observes. She watches how they handle challenges, how they treat others, and whether their actions align with their words. She understands that true character is not revealed in moments of ease, but in times of difficulty. If a person is inconsistent, dishonest, or lacks integrity, she does not hesitate to protect herself by maintaining distance. A woman who values trust does not believe in empty words. Promises mean little if they are not followed by action. She has learned, perhaps through past experiences, that trust can be broken in an instant, but takes time to rebuild. She does not let past betrayals make her cold or closed off, but she does become wiser. She knows that trust must be earned through reliability, consistency, and genuine respect. Trust is also about emotional safety. If she shares her thoughts, dreams, or fears, it is because she believes the person listening will handle them with care. She does not expose her heart to those who mock, dismiss, or belittle her feelings. She knows that trust is not just about honesty. It is about creating a space where she feels seen, heard, and valued. Once, in a quiet village, there was a young woman named Layla who had a beautiful glass jar filled with golden sand. This jar was precious to her, for each grain of sand represented trust. Whenever she met someone kind, she would give them a small handful of sand. But over time, she noticed something painful. Some people took her sand, but never gave any in return. Others spilled it carelessly, not understanding its value. One day, an elder in the village saw her sorrow and said, "Do not give your sand to those who have not proven they will cherish it. Let them earn each grain, and you will find those who truly deserve your trust." From that day forward, Layla no longer gave her sand freely. She observed, she waited, and she only shared it with those who treated it with care. A wise woman follows the same lesson. She understands that trust, like golden sand, should never be given away carelessly. Instead, it should be shared with those who prove, through their actions, that they are worthy of it. Vulnerability is often misunderstood. Many see it as a sign of weakness, an exposure of one's flaws, or an invitation for hurt. But in reality, vulnerability is one of the greatest measures of strength. It takes courage to lower one's defenses, to reveal emotions, and to share parts of oneself that are not polished or perfected. A woman who embraces vulnerability is not fragile. She is strong enough to be real. A woman does not reveal her inner world to just anyone. She has likely learned through experience that not everyone is capable of handling it with care. She knows that emotions, thoughts, and fears are not meant to be displayed for those who do not appreciate their weight. When she chooses to open up, it is not because she is naive or careless. It is because she recognizes a space where she can be herself without fear of ridicule or rejection. Vulnerability is not about seeking sympathy or appearing helpless. It is about authenticity. It is about being honest rather than guarded, expressing rather than suppressing, and trusting rather than withdrawing. It is easy to hide behind walls, to present only what is safe, to reveal only what is acceptable. The real challenge is allowing someone to see beyond the surface, knowing that there is always a risk involved. A woman who shows vulnerability does not do so impulsively. She observes first. She watches how someone reacts in difficult moments, whether they dismiss emotions or respect them. She notices whether they listen without judgment, whether they are patient when words are difficult to find. If she senses safety, she allows herself to be seen. Strength lies in this choice. To be vulnerable is to say, "I trust you enough to see me as I am." It requires resilience to accept that not everyone will respond with care. Some may turn away, misunderstand, or even misuse what has been shared. And yet, she still chooses to take the risk when she believes it is worth it. Vulnerability is also a test of character. It reveals who truly values connection over mere appearance. A person who understands its significance does not dismiss or exploit it. Instead, they protect it. They create an environment where openness is not met with indifference but with understanding. They recognize that vulnerability is not about being weak, but about being strong enough to be genuine. There is a quiet power in allowing oneself to be seen. A woman who is vulnerable is not asking for rescue. She is not looking for someone to fix or complete her. She is simply choosing to share what is real. And in doing so, she demonstrates a strength far greater than any mask of perfection could ever provide. Time and energy are two of the most valuable resources a person possesses. Unlike material wealth, they cannot be regained once spent. A woman who understands her worth does not give these resources away carelessly. She is intentional with where she directs her attention, knowing that every moment spent is a choice. If she chooses to invest her time and energy in someone, it is not by accident. It is because she sees value in that connection. A woman has many demands on her time. Responsibilities, personal goals, and relationships all require her attention. She is selective about who she prioritizes, understanding that not every interaction is worthy of her emotional effort. If she engages in conversation, shares her thoughts, or dedicates time to someone, it is not because she has nothing better to do. It is because she believes that person is worth knowing. Energy is just as important as time. It is one thing to be physically present, but another to be emotionally and mentally engaged. A woman who invests her energy into someone does not do so lightly. It takes effort to truly listen, to care, and to support. It requires patience to be present during difficult moments. She does not give this level of attention to those who treat it as disposable. A woman does not measure relationships by words alone, but by actions. Promises mean little if they are not backed by consistency. She notices who respects her time, who reciprocates her effort, and who values her presence. If she repeatedly gives time to someone who does not appreciate it, she learns to step back. Time wasted is time that cannot be recovered. Her investment is not only in grand gestures, but in the small, everyday moments. A message, a thoughtful act, a willingness to be present. These things matter. They show where her priorities lie. She does not expect perfection, but she does expect consideration. If she continuously makes space for someone in her life, it is because she genuinely values their presence. A woman also understands the difference between obligation and choice. She does not spend time with someone out of guilt or social expectation. She gives freely where she feels respected and valued. She knows that real connection is never forced. It flows naturally when both sides recognize its worth. At the same time, she is aware of those who take without giving. Energy is not infinite, and constantly pouring into people who do not reciprocate leads to exhaustion. She does not chase those who are indifferent, nor does she plead for attention. Instead, she invests in those who show through their actions that they value her just as much as she values them. To give time and energy is to give something irreplaceable. A woman who offers these things does so with intention. She is not careless with what she gives, nor does she allow it to be taken for granted. She understands the worth of her presence, and she gives it only where it is truly valued. A network error occurred. Please check your connection and try again. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at help@ai.com. Emotional safety is the foundation of any meaningful connection. It is not enough to simply be present in someone's life. What truly matters is how that presence makes them feel. A woman who values herself does not open up to just anyone. She seeks an environment where she can express her thoughts and emotions without fear of judgment, ridicule, or dismissal. If she shares her feelings, it is because she believes she is in a space where they will be handled with care. Emotional safety is not about avoiding difficult conversations or pretending that problems do not exist. It is about knowing that honesty will be met with understanding rather than criticism. A woman observes how someone reacts to her vulnerabilities. Do they listen attentively, or do they dismiss her words? Do they seek to understand, or do they invalidate her feelings? She pays attention to these signs because they reveal whether a person is truly capable of offering emotional security. Trust cannot exist without emotional safety. A woman does not open up simply because she is asked to. She does so when she feels she will not be made to regret it. She knows that some people listen only to respond, while others listen to understand. The difference between the two is crucial. A person who listens with patience and empathy creates a space where she feels heard. A person who reacts with impatience or disregard erodes trust before it can take root. Emotional safety is also about respect. A woman does not feel secure with someone who belittles her emotions, mocks her concerns, or turns serious conversations into a joke. She does not need someone to agree with her at all times, but she does need to know that her feelings are taken seriously. Respect is shown not only in words but in tone, body language, and consistency. There is strength in being able to share without hesitation. Many people suppress their emotions out of fear. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of being seen as weak, or fear of being used. A woman who values emotional safety knows that true strength lies in authenticity. She refuses to silence herself just to maintain peace. Instead, she surrounds herself with those who make honesty feel natural rather than risky. A woman also understands that emotional safety is a two-way street. She does not demand what she does not offer. Just as she seeks understanding, she gives it. Just as she values patience, she practices it. She does not expect perfection, but she does expect effort. She knows that real connection is built not on grand gestures, but on everyday moments of kindness, respect, and emotional awareness. She does not waste time on those who make her feel unheard or unseen. If a space does not offer emotional safety, she does not force herself to remain in it. Instead, she chooses relationships where she can exist as she is, without fear of being dismissed or diminished. For her, emotional safety is not a luxury. Silence is often misunderstood. Many assume that words are the only way to express feelings, intentions, and thoughts. But silence carries meaning just as powerfully, sometimes even more so. A woman who values depth in her connections understands that what is left unsaid can be just as revealing as what is spoken. She listens not only to words but to pauses, hesitations, and the unspoken messages that fill the spaces between conversations. When a woman shares moments of silence with someone, It is never accidental. Silence can be uncomfortable with those who are unfamiliar or untrustworthy, but with the right person, it feels natural, even comforting. If she allows quiet moments to exist without the need to fill them, it is a sign of comfort and trust. She does not feel the pressure to entertain or constantly explain herself. Her presence alone is enough, and she expects the same in return. Silence is also a test of understanding. A woman notices who can sit with her in quiet reflection and who grows restless in the absence of words. Some seek constant noise to avoid depth, while others embrace silence as a form of connection. She values those who do not fear stillness, those who can exist beside her without the need for constant validation or chatter. Not all silence is peaceful, however. A woman also understands that silence can be a response, a decision, or a realization. When words are absent, meaning is not. She knows when silence is used to create distance, when it speaks of indifference, and when it carries weight heavier than spoken explanations. She does not ignore the messages embedded within silence, nor does she beg for words that are withheld. Silence can be an act of strength. When faced with disrespect or manipulation, a woman does not always engage in argument. She knows that silence can be more powerful than confrontation, that refusing to respond is sometimes the greatest form of resistance. She does not waste energy explaining herself to those who do not listen, nor does she entertain those who do not value her presence. A woman also observes silence in others. She pays attention to what is not said, to the emotions hidden beneath quiet moments. She understands that silence is not always avoidance. Sometimes it is thoughtfulness, reflection, or unspoken care. She does not rush to fill the gaps with assumptions, but instead allows space for understanding to grow. Silence reveals character. It shows who is patient, who is thoughtful, and who seeks connection beyond words. A woman who understands the power of silence does not force conversation for the sake of comfort. She embraces quiet moments, knowing that they often hold deeper truths than spoken words ever could. A woman does not share her time, energy, emotions, or silence without purpose. When she invests in someone, it is because she sees value in that connection. She seeks emotional safety, respects her own worth, and understands that silence can speak louder than words. She does not waste her presence on those who do not appreciate it, nor does she force connections that do not flow naturally. To be chosen by such a woman is an honor, not an entitlement. May you recognize and respect such a gift when it is given. Good luck in your journey of understanding, and thank you for your time.